but like the live just shut off. And the live just shut off. I'd been on here for a half hour. I hope that the what I was talking about already was saved, or else I have to go over it all again. Um, but basically, I'll just pick up where I left off. We have to adapt. We have to adapt to whatever is changing. 350 degrees days in December. So maybe we have a house with bananas, mangoes, and oranges that we don't let go below like 32 degrees, or yeah, like 40 degrees, and just have like a insane compost system in there. And then you have all of those things that you observed through nature. um, Sorry, just lost my train of thought because it threw me off that the whole thing ended. But so if you're picking up here, part two, Jay's Grass-Fed podcast, the live just got cut out. Uh, Went over the temperatures in the first part and took a question from the subscriber. We're just kind of talking about all of that. And yeah, and then I was just talking about adapting to the changing. I've been observing temperatures changing since 2014, and I've talked to people who have been here longer than me, and they said that it didn't used to be like this, so what we can do as a whole is adapt to our environment. And that is what we can do. So yeah, the perennials intermix with the annuals, save your seed, grow storable crops, have a greenhouse if possible, grow some livestock if possible, chickens, cows, pigs, and I know that might not be possible for everyone. Just if it's not possible for you, then just find your local farms. Find somebody that it is possible for and they're growing it, and but that's the thing. You don't need to own land to grow food. They have community gardens. I mean, mine, they charge like $25, but even still, pay $25 for the year. You get to have your garden plot there. You can grow a lot of stuff in pots if you have like a south-facing window. Yeah, maybe you have like a patio scenario. You can do what you can. I mean, even some just herbs or a lettuce pot inside in the window, just doing anything that you can to get some nutritionally dense produce in your system. Know where it came from. I think that's the most important thing that I'm taking from this learning journey, is just highly nutritionally dense food and knowing where it came from. That's two most important things. And I mean, people try to make the argument that organic is more expensive, and that's because it's better for you, right? They try to make clean food harder to access, so people are not able to live a life of vitality That's the way I see it. I mean, they're gassing these tomatoes, they're gassing the oranges, they're gassing the bananas, they're spraying everything, they're genetically modifying the seeds. So, what would make me think that they want people to have access to clean food? They don't. So, like, that's why it's up to us to know and take the stance of find out where it's coming from, support our local farmers, or grow it ourselves in any way that we can. Um, and you know, that's that's all. That's all that we could truly do. Because if you're not, your health comes from food. All right, and the way that this world is constructed is that we need money to buy food. So then that means that we need money. If you want to live through that system, then that would mean that you need money to live. But, and I think it would be pretty hard to fully remove yourself from the system to just not even use fiat currency any longer and just go back to completely trade and bartering. But you could try to get back to that life as much as possible and cut costs by just growing your own food. Because, I mean, think about how expensive food really is now. Like, it's crazy. The eggs are up to $8 a dozen for organic eggs. Organic local eggs at the co-op are $8. They used to be at least $5, and I had no problem paying $5. I still pay the $8 because I don't have a source. I don't grow chickens. I don't raise chickens. So I'm forced to pay the $8 to get a organic local egg that I know where it's coming from, and it's again highly nutritionally dense, and it didn't come from 1,000 or more miles away. But instead of paying the $8, you could just get the chickens. But that's a commitment. Animals is now like a life commitment. So I mean, you gotta be ready if you're gonna get some animals. So at least I guess like with the garden or growing the food, if you walk away from it, there's not like, I guess it's lesser in a way, because then I mean it's not like a literal, but maybe it's not. Well, and that's a big discussion. So it's like maybe we're not all in agreement, but I know that plants are alive. I believe that they can feel vibrations, hear you when you're talking, and they talk too. They talk back to you. They tell you things. So, and then people would say the same thing, possibly for an animal. I mean, everybody says that chickens are dumb, but I haven't interacted with chickens enough to make a statement or not. But basically, we're talking about a living being, right? A living being, whether it's a plant or it's an animal, they're both living, right? The plants are breathing, So yeah, and I mean, just going back to what I was saying, it's at least, if you got the chickens and walk away from it, like, that's kind of disastrous because you have these living animals out in your front yard. And I was saying that if you have the garden and no animals and then walk away from it, I guess it's not as bad. But I mean, why is that? No, it's just as bad. You let all these living plants die. It would have been the same as if you didn't take care of the chickens. They would have escaped or got eaten by some coyotes and passed away. I don't know. I guess I'm just going on a rant now. Not even really a rant, just seeing where I'm just speaking my thoughts. Just my thoughts on all of this, because I did the plant-based thing, and I'm still in favor of the plant-based diet. Like, I think that there's a lot of benefit that comes from it, and I think that there's like a lot of healing that comes from a plant-based diet, detoxification, but I'm also seeing that, like, these fats from the animals are really healthy for the human body. But the thing is with the meat is, like, if you grill it, like, it's carcinogenic, right? So when eating meat, I'm trying to make it like the least amount of carcinogenic as possible. At least broiling it on low, or having it in a stew. Stew's obviously the healthiest way to go, but never do grill it myself. So, but then again, the eggs too. I mean, the eggs can become carcinogenic if you cook them on too high of heat, and obviously depending what oil you're using. But so the eggs gotta be on low heat too, or else they could become carcinogenic very quickly. The acrylamide. And yeah, so I feel like it's just about finding what works best for you. But that's the thing that I was saying, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about maybe you could have the bananas and mangoes in it's like eating what's in season. I'm feeling like the best that, like, I'm eating what's in season. And so, like, there's not really too many veggies going around right now. You got some local grass-fed organic beef. Yeah, and I mean, it makes me feel good. Yeah, and I know it's messed up. Like, there's an animal's life on my hands, and it's not even literally on my hands because I didn't even kill it myself or harvest it, but it's in my stomach, and I'm taking on all the emotions that cow is feeling, and taking on the energy of that living spirit. So yeah, but you're not doing the same with a plant. I don't know. I mean, I know. I don't know what you know. I don't know what other people think. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just like, I don't know. You're going out there with the shears and chopping down this alive plant. But like I said, I'm definitely in favor of the plant-based diet as well. Like, that's, if you're trying to heal, that's the way to go. And I think it's just about like minimalizing the animal products. Um, and like everybody's body's different, and everybody's body is going to absorb these things differently. It's just about finding what works best for you. Maybe not everybody wants to go grow food. Maybe everybody just wants to go to the grocery store, and maybe everybody wants to eat Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Who am I to tell anyone that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, who am I'm just here now. I'm no one to tell anyone anything really. I mean, I can give my opinion. Everybody's entitled to that, but nobody has to listen. And yeah. I guess we'll just leave it on that. Leave it on that note. Yeah, so this was a little weird. Threw off my vibe that the video ended. I was on a good. Yo, we got one person here. Throw a comment if you got. Who's here right now? Throw a comment up. I was just gonna. Oh no, they left. So no one's here. I think I've said what I needed to say. You can go back and watch it if you feel called to. There'll be part 1 and part 2 to this. And yeah, stay tuned for more temperature fluctuation updates. And leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you feel called to. Let's have a conversation about all of this, about it all. I'm open. I think I know stuff, but probably don't know that much. So, yeah, let's just learn from each other, build community, one love, wholeness to everyone. See ya next week. Peace.